Hello everyone and welcome back to the Legacy Challenge here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick, I'm one of your hosts. Ben has to take leave, he's got to do stuff. And we have our finals, Russell Lee on the left who is piloting the, what was his thing again? Black and white, mono white, Death and Texas, while Zoilo here is piloting the awesome, I think it's damn awesome, the Goblins deck. So yeah. Who do you guys think will win? Team Zoilo or Team Russell? Let me know in the chat. Anyway, Zoilo here has to mulligan down to 5. Not seeing any action in his hands. This matchup can be quite difficult for Zoilo. Russell here being a mono white deck. Yeah, Def and Texas. Russell here being a mono white deck only runs the only lands that he's gonna hit is that Zoilo's gonna hit is the Caracas. I think not quite sure what other non-basic lands Russell might have in his deck. Maybe Wastelands. But yeah, I'm inclined to think that Russell might have the advantage, but Zoilo here might just come out tops. He has very interesting, very interesting answers in his deck for whatever it is. And Zoilo there not being careful with his cards as well. Blood Moon on turn 1 and passes the turn. Rishadan Pot right, it also hits the pot. Thank you, Jason, for reminding me because the pot is right there, right? But Russell, perfect start because turn 1 you want the Aether Vial and you want to keep ticking up the Aether Vial. And Rishadan Pot definitely is a huge hit for the Moon because it's going to restrict Russell from playing any or doing any of his shenanigans. But Zoilo here bricking on lands. He needs lands to cast spells. Magic is one of those games where it's easier to cast. It's easier to play when you don't just cast lands and or spells. Yeah. Tala here of the plains and Rishadan Pot. And main phase, he activates his what do you call it? The activate the vial to bring in Sarah Avenger. Okay, so I forget what this guy's name is, but enters the battlefield, going to push back one creature into his opponent's hand, and he decides to push back the Sarah Avenger. Just going to block because the vanishing. He's not going to be able to pay the echoes. Sting Scourger. That's right. Thank you, Jason. You need to be in here right now. Yeah, Ben has tasked me to do this stream alone, even though I don't know the Legacy format all too well. I know Legacy format, okay. I love watching people play. I like watching people play more than I actually do playing myself. But yeah, Sarah Avenger going to hit the battlefield. Mother of Runes now active, which is going to be difficult for Zoilo to deal with because the Mother of Runes basically protecting the entire board. The Thalia adding one mana to every non-creature spell, so he can't actually cast that Chalice of the Void that's in his hand, but he's going to take 2. And Russell here just passing the turn. So he's supposed to take 5, I believe. Alright, so Chalice of the Void here for 1. And just going to pass the turn. Sting Scourger. I believe they should be at 15. Zoilo should be at 15. Because he should be able to attack with both the Avenger and the Thalia. And he's going to cast the second Thalia here, which all but almost locks out the game. Zoilo does have red. Okay. Zoilo does have the red, does have basic mountains in his deck. So But wow, a playset of City of Traitors here. This would be great. But it enters the battlefield tapped. It's a because of the new Thalia, Qatar Heretic or Heretic Qatar, it enters the battlefield tapped. So yeah, new plus old Thalia is quite dirty, I think. It's more than a Kismet. So I always have this criticism about the new Thalia, which is that it's just a half Kismet. But in Legacy, where most of the decks run non-basic lands, it is quite dirty. Yeah, his opponent going down to 5 here, which means that he needs to do something, otherwise this game is all but over. And yeah, it is. We're going to game 2, a very quick game 1. Russell here just capitalizing on Zoilo's inability to find any lands, any action. He did have the turn 1 Blood Moon, that's great. But yeah, other than that, not so great. So yeah, sideboard options, I'm not quite sure. Russell will probably just take out the... Russell will want more... Oh, it looks like he's boarding in basic lands? No, those are... Alright, yeah. He definitely wants his paths just to get rid of the... what you call it? What's that? Mock Catcher, right. Mock Catchers do make the deck a lot better. Blood Moon against Mono White, yeah. On Zoilo's side, he definitely wants to take out all the Magus of the Moon. Okay, maybe he doesn't want to take out the Magus of the Moon. You take out the Magus of the Moon, keep the Blood Moons instead. Magus of the Moon could be something else. It's a nice body, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be that important. So yeah, let's see how it shapes out. I hope these two players are prepared to go to to do battle. While they are sideboarding, I should remind you that if you do like the content that we're streaming right now, you can find more content online on YouTube. We archive all our videos. The links are in the description below, but you can just go to youtube.com and search up Grey Ogre. But I would love if you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, because the more subscribers we have, the more things that we can do. Because it's easier for me to say youtube.com/GreyOgreGames versus youtube.com/G95A capital EO 7 whatever that. I don't even know what our channel name is. Channel address is. But yeah, if there are 100 or more subscribers, we can just change the channel address to youtube.com/GreyOgreGames. It will be fantastic. So everything that you go, twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames and facebook.com/GreyOgreGames. Easy peasy. Alright, so back to the game. Players are done with their shuffling. So we're going to see what they have thought would be relevant for this matchup. I think Russell might want to bring in Phyrexian Revokers, but he hasn't seen the Mock Catcher. He also hasn't seen the Siege Gang Commanders, but Path to Exiles are a lot better. Even though Zoilo has basic mountains, Path to Exiles still just get rid of stuff. So you have your Swords to Plowshares, you have your Path to Exiles, whole suite of removal, and just make sure that you're on tempo. At this point of time, Russell should be, I believe, should be the aggressor. Yeah, Zoilo wants to drag out the game a bit longer. So yeah, although Zoilo might just like go turn one. What's his name? Goblin Rebel Master. That's right, and just slowly build up from there. Although that is highly unlikely, still might happen. So. Alright, players shuffled up, drawing their 7 cards. I believe Zoilo should be going first. Ooh, sudden shock there. Very nice. Um, there is some action in his hand, but not much. The Chrome Mox is going to be very useful. One land, Chrome Mox, the Simian Spirit Guide. I'm not quite sure what the other card is though. Yeah, okay, so he's going to exile Piankira. Oh, is that Piankira Nala? Cool, so he decides not to be able to cast Piankira Nala. Alright, so Simian Spirit Guide, Simian Spirit Guide. And so 2 mana, he's going to cast Chalice for 1 and lock out his opponents playing Mother of Runes, Aether Vial, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile. So yeah, Russell here needs to dig deep. And yeah, he forgets. Okay, so it doesn't stop you from casting the spell. It just counters the spell. So if you accidentally just cast it, it's going to go into the drain. Wow, so 3 Simian Spirit Guides. He's got the Goblin Rebel Master and he's just going to swing in. So here, Zoilo really just taking control of this matchup. We have tokens. We should give them some tokens. So, and here 2 mana, I believe should be a Thalia that would stem the bleeding. Oh no, Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, going to look for probably a better skull. Zoilo has to respond to that Stoneforge Mystic. I think he can just attack. Yeah, he can definitely just attack in with everyone next turn. Alright, okay, so he does have the... Excellent. Maybe they can hear me. They can hear me. We do not specifically have Goblin tokens right there, but there's a box right next to it. So for those of you, next time you come into the store, and if you're ever on the feature match area, there's this giant black box, which actually says tokens on it. I believe it says tokens on it. And there's a small box which you saw him take out stuff from, right? That's a token. You want to look? Good reply. What are you looking for? And who's that emoticon? Looks like Michelle Obama. No problem, good reply. You can lurk about. Just don't cause any trouble. Otherwise, I'll be looking for you. So he swings in with the entire team. He gets +2/+0. So it's 6 damage on the table. He can block. Russell can just block one of the 1/1s. He doesn't have to give up his Stoneforge Mystic, especially since next turn he can just like cast the Stoneforge. He can bring the equipment down with the Stoneforge Mystic. So yeah, that's fine. Taking some damage, that's okay. And here for 4 mana, he's gonna sudden shock. Yeah, there goes the Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, so deciding not to block is not paying off for Russell, but I believe he has a 2-drop, still a 2-drop in hand, and there's another Thalia there. Unfortunately, it will be like taking some damage a turn. Is that the new Thalia? Yeah, sorry, it's the old Thalia. Protector of Thraben. Defender of Thraben. Something like that. He's going to strip mine away the ancient tomb to prevent Zoilo from going crazy about all his mana. He's just going to swing in with the 2 tokens. It's safe to block and just pass the turn. Alright, basic mountain here and just pass the turn. Yeah, I think he just wants to build up mana so that he can get to the point where he can cast a Mock Catcher if he ever draws it. He does not want to cast a second Goblin Rebel Master though. That would be a huge mistake on his part. 3 mana here, just going to second kata, which means that Russell will profitably be able to swing in. They both have first strike, and now Zoilo's tokens will enter the battlefield tapped. And he has to swing in with the other one, it will just be blocked. Pow! It's going to die. And slowly, Russell is getting back into this match. Yeah. He's just going to swing in with Big Thalia, since all the tokens are just going to enter the battlefield tab. And Stoneforge Mystic here just to draw up the... Well, if he didn't take the Battle Scowl earlier, I think he did take the Battle Scowl earlier. He's just going to look out for Sword of Fire and Ice or GT. Oh, sorry. My bad. GT better. And this is all but the game. Zoilo needs to dig deep here. He still has some cards in hand. I'm not quite sure what it does. No, non-basic lands enter the battlefield tap. So that enters untapped. Just gonna swing in. It's gonna swing into the Talia, which is pretty bad. So what other options does Zoilo have? I don't think... okay, so if you got Pyroclasm in your deck, you definitely needed to draw it last turn and you needed to cast it. Here Russell just gonna wait for the little goblin to attack, and he's going to... Oh, he's not going to activate and bring down the GT or the Battle Skull. Alright, so GT hits the battlefield. Why not the Battle Skull though? GT is... Okay, granted GT is like crazy good, so... GT gets equipped onto Big Talia and he's got a block. He still gets the counters though. And Zoilo here frustrated by his goblins not being able to attack. They all enter the battlefield tapped, which is really, really annoying. Phyrexian Revoker here, going to name probably a Stoneforge Mystic, but it enters the battlefield tapped. So let's see. GT is just going to take out the... Well, it doesn't have to take out the Phyrexian Revoker right now. Oh no, it does name the GT. But it's really tough. Like you have to cope with now a GT and a Stoneforge Mystic, and he's going to swing it with both. It's going to get blocked, and GT goes up to 4, even though you cannot use it. But as luck would have it, going to disenchant that. No, he has to pay an extra mana to disenchant the Chalice of the Void, which he could have used it on the Phyrexian Revoker, but yeah, not going to be relevant at this point of time. I believe he should have a path in hand to get rid of that. He's got 2 Mother of Runes. Man, he's way in the lead right now. Russell is just dominating this. Yeah, all those Team Russell, Ian Sook, or is it Lan Sook? I believe it should be Ian Sook. Yeah, hashtag Team Russell. Russell probably going to take the game here. Zoilo, if anything, that was dangerous. That was extremely dangerous. Had Russell had the Path to Exile, the swords. And he can just pump the what you call it, the GT. He can use the GT right now. It's going to go up to 6. Well, he could have used it last time, which is kind of strange, but never mind. It goes up to 6. Zoilo here, seeing the writings on the wall, just shakes hands. He did not play the Ensnaring Bridge, which was kind of weird. He still had a lot of cards in hand, but Ensnaring Bridge would have been good against this board, I think. Anyway. Alright, thank you for joining us for this Legacy Challenge. Russell takes the entire tournament. He wins the Eternal Masters Force of Will. Congratulations, Russell. And Zoilo, don't feel too bad. Second place, I believe, is a Tempest Wasteland or something to that effect. Great, nice cards to have. So yeah, don't be upset. It's all cool, bro. We're gonna go. Thank you for joining us. Hand is more than 3. He uses GTA post attack. Oh yes, that's right. So you can just equip GTA to what's her name to Stoneforge Mystic. So Zoilo unable to just unleash his entire hand, making that making that card not so useful. Anyway, thanks for joining us for Legacy Challenge. You've been watching Legacy Challenge. You have been talking to, or we have been talking to you. My name is Mick. I'm one of your hosts. I was joined by Ben earlier, but Ben has to run some things, so that's excusable. Ben's a lovely guy, and many people. Ben knows a lot of people, a lot more people than I do. For example, Jason and Michael Phelps. So yeah. Anyway, remember, this isn't the only stream that we do. We do other streams as well. Tuesday nights, just tune in, 8 p.m. Singapore time. We are doing our standard SCG game nights. Wednesday nights, we do modern. It's our weekly modern tournament, 3 rounds. Thursdays, sometimes we have vintage playtests. That's sometimes hit or miss. I'd rather do it with Ben around because he knows the format a lot better than I do, but I love playing it. It's an interesting format. And finally, on the weekends, sometimes we have tournaments. Like tomorrow, we have Hearthstone, but I'm not quite sure whether we're streaming it yet. If you love Hearthstone, if you love RNGesus, you might want to tune in. Just follow this channel. Just follow our Facebook page to keep up to date with the latest happenings and all the tournaments that we are streaming. Because we do update them, you can check the details below. All the links are there. Finally, if you do listen to the Powerline podcast, great for you. We're a bunch of crazy maniacs from Singapore talking about the game that we love, Magic the Gathering. You can find us on power9podcast.com. This week, we talk about the story so far, and it is sweet, SWT. Alright, for myself and Ben and all the Grey Ogres and all the players in the Legacy Tournament, we're going to sign off now. We hope you have a wonderful week ahead. GP Sydney is in the house. Go tune in to it tomorrow. Until then, until next time, we'll see you guys. Ciao.